welcome.
It's no secret that Apex Legends continues to be one of the world's biggest games, frequently delivering new content. While the shooter is not a typical survival game, its main objective, like other battle royale games, is to be the last person standing. Unlike PUBG, where players can create their own avatars, Apex Legends is more character-focused, offering a roster of legendary characters that players can embody. With each character possessing unique abilities, the game introduces a strategic element that requires players to think about equipment and action plans based on teamwork. Deatly Stillness is a game with a hunting theme against zombies, requiring players to make efforts to repel the zombie invasion and survive. The game can be played from various perspectives, and players need to use firearms and melee weapons to cope with zombies. Additionally, it is important for players to monitor their own health and collect health packs. The game offers 3 different maps where players strive to fight against zombies and survive. Before entering the game, there are various character options to choose from. However, it is also necessary to make a weapon selection before starting. The developer notes that the game is currently only for educational purposes and has not been officially released yet. In the last decade, Fistful of Frags has become a notable and enjoyable shooter and a free survival game on Steam. Set in the Wild West atmosphere, players will learn to combat other players in first-person fights while having a variety of weapons at their disposal. There are various game modes, including both PvE and PvP, ranging from deathmatch to co-op. Additionally, the game features a single-player mission structure that challenges players to learn various tools and improve their skills throughout the process. Another game utilizing Valve's signature game engine, Source. Mob Entertainment has made a name for itself as a survival horror developer, but with the development of Project Playtime, it is taking its first step into free-to-play multiplayer games. The current online experience, available on Steam Early Access, takes place in the same toy factory as its previous games. 6 players are given a puzzle-solving task and try to create a giant toy that will help them stop a massive monster chasing them in the facility. What makes it interesting is that the monster is controlled by a 7th player, whose sole objective is to eliminate the last remaining survivor. Playing deception games with friends can be a lot of fun because it's impossible to predict what will happen in each round. However, trying to survive in the surroundings while figuring out who the villain is increases the risks. In the main mode, there is a secretly monstrous character collaborating with traitors to eliminate the remaining spacemen before they are safe. There is also a unique experience offered through a story cooperation mode and a survival cooperation mode where players can either go solo or collaborate with friends. Iron Snout, despite being primarily a 2D fighting game, incorporates survival elements. In other words, the main objective throughout the game is to keep the piglet, controlled by the user, alive for as long as possible while avoiding being lunch for wolf packs. The game primarily employs a simple control scheme. Wolves in various outfits, each with different abilities, approach the piglet. This creates an experience based on collecting combos, requiring players to chase enemies and rewarding them with amusing movements from the piglet. Sometimes survival is not about the player's own struggle for survival. Instead, it can be about the player's effort to keep others alive. One game that reflects this scenario is Fallout Shelter, a mobile spin-off of the Fallout series that later became a free-to-play game on the Steam platform. Fallout Shelter is a base-building game that assigns the player the task of managing a vault. The goal is to build a sustainable vault, keeping the inhabitants safe from external threats or dangers that may arise within the vault. players can also interact with individual dwellers to customize their appearances or take control of their lives. It makes perfect sense for developers to combine survival games in the roguelike genre. Muck is a game where players, either alone or in collaboration with friends, strive to survive as long as possible on a procedurally generated island. The gameplay is similar to other survival games. After landing on the island, players can gather resources to craft the necessary tools. Additionally, they can build a base to try to stay safe. While the daytime poses relatively little danger, the night brings forth enemies, challenging players to survive for as long as possible. While Steam hosts some of the world's largest MOBAs, one of the lesser-known but still active ones today is Eternal Return. The survival aspect of these games involves attempting to live longer in an environment where other players are trying to kill you, all while completing various survival tasks. These tasks range from crafting essential tools to setting traps for both opponents and animals. The latter can be hunted to obtain materials. Eternal Return offers numerous options to play alone or with friends while trying to overthrow the sinister game of the Aglaia Company. Survival horror games have generally become a subgenre of the survival genre, often set in a zombie apocalypse atmosphere. One notable example in this category is the free Steam game No More Room in Hell. This Source Engine experience is a cooperative game where players can team up to fight against zombies, with up to 8 people playing together. In addition to the typical survival elements, objectives also vary session by session. This means that each game is unique, with new objectives to be completed. Some of the best survival horror experiences come from unusual sources. SCP Containment Breach Multiplayer is a game based on stories told on the SCP Foundation Wiki, which covers paranormal and unexplained events that could occur in the world. Players explore Site-19 while seeking an escape route from dangerous creatures escaping the facility. The facility itself changes its layout in each round, so no game is the same as the previous one. In addition to the usual co-op experience, players can take on the roles of chilling entities in the Breach game mode. Battle Royales have become one of the most popular video game genres out there, and while many have come and gone, there are a few that have become mainstays in the industry. One of these games is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, one of the original Battle Royales to take the world by storm. The gameplay of PUBG is now a standard affair across most other games in the genre. Players will start by selecting a place to land, then will have to run around and pick up necessary resources they can use to be the last one standing. The game is typically played in teams, with the last one standing claiming victory. The tendency is for zombie apocalypses to be the most suitable setting for several survival games. However, those looking for something a bit more cheerful can turn to Unturned, an almost entirely online voxel zombie survival game. In addition to the usual survival elements on massive maps, there are NPCs that players can interact with to take on tasks and acquire necessary items. There is a large community scene for Unturned with many maps and items available for download on the Steam Workshop. Ultimate Custom Night is a survival horror game developed by Scott Cawthon as part of the popular Five Nights at Freddy's series. This game allows players to create and manage their own custom nightmares by bringing together a wide collection of characters from the series. Players can adjust various animatronic characters and customize the difficulty according to their preferences. The goal is to fend off these terrifying creatures throughout the night and survive. With different mechanics, traps, and special abilities, this comprehensive custom night experience offers players a game filled with fear and suspense. Stay Out is a survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world that has changed after a radioactive disaster. Players control a character trying to survive in this perilous world. They must interact with other survivors, gather resources, and overcome various dangers. The game offers a vast and dynamic open world, allowing players to explore different environments and search for the necessary resources to stay alive. Additionally, there are opportunities to encounter and interact with other survivors. Stay Out is known as a game that provides a real-time and dynamic experience for survival game enthusiasts.